Hey guys, in the previous class we were discussing about operator overloading and what is string method and then initialization methods, how we can use them in the Python classes and the methods. Okay, so the next topic is type based dispatch. Okay, based on the type how you are going to dispatch any values or the objects. So in the previous section we have added the two time objects, how to add the two time objects using the method add. Okay, but you also want to add an integer to a time object. How to add an integer to a time object? That is obviously called a type based dispatch. Okay, so this will be the following version of add that checks the type of the other and invokes the either add time or the increment. How does it do? As usual we are doing the same here. What we are doing, if is instant, you're checking for the constant is instance of other comma time. If it is true, then it will return self add dot time of other, else it will return self dot increment of other. Now in the same way we are defining other time for the self comma other for time. Okay, so what it is doing, seconds is equal to self dot time to int plus other dot time dot, it is same as the previous one. What we are do, it is going to return the int to time of in seconds. In the integer it is going to give the time in seconds. Now you are incrementing. How to increment? Using for selfs and the seconds you will be incrementing the value in terms of the seconds. Okay, so seconds will be incremented by self dot time to int value. Okay, so the same value will be returned in the seconds. Okay, so this is how we can do using the type based dispatch. Now the built-in function is instance, what we have discussed here, it will takes a value and the class objects and returns true if the value is instance of the true. If it is true, then it will return that particular instance of the class. If the other is a time object, add will invoke the add time, otherwise it will assume the parameter is a number and then invokes the increment. So this kind of operation can be called as type based dispatch because it dispatches the computation to different methods based on the type of arguments. Okay, so examples, if we consider using the plus operator with different types, is start time of 9,45, then 9 hours 45 minutes, duration is time of 1,35, print start plus duration. What it will do, it will add this value and return the same value. Print start at 1337. In terms of seconds, if it is doing, it will going to give a 10 hours 7 minutes 17 seconds. Okay, so this is what it is going to give done in the type based dispatch. Another one is, if you're doing such kind of implementation, unfortunately this implementation of addition is not commutative. It is not going to express the users. Okay, in this case if the integer is the first operand you get, for example say print, you are writing instead of start plus you are writing 1337. Okay, integer number, what is going to, it is unsupported operand type for plus int and the instance. Okay, in that case this problem is, instead of asking the time object to add the integer, the Python is asking the integer to add the time object and it doesn't know how, and obviously it will return the error. Okay, so but there is a clever solution for this problem, that is a special method called RAD, which stands for right sided add. Okay, right sided add, if you are doing this one, then we can, it is the special, then this type of the object expressions will be allowed. Okay, how we can do this one, look at this example, define rad self comma others. Okay, return self add then the other. Now it is going to print of 1337. Make sure you are writing the method like this and then only you can print this value, otherwise it is going to give the unsupported operand type for integer and then instance. Okay, so that is about the type based dispatch. Next one is polymorphism. Okay, so in general polymorphism means how the multiple functions will be working together. Okay, so in the previous section we know type pass dispatch is useful when it is necessary, but it is not always necessary. Often you can avoid it by writing the function that work correctly for the arguments with different types. Okay, you can avoid it by writing function which will work correctly for that particular arguments with different types. Okay, so many of the function what we wrote for the strings always work for the other sequence type. Okay, for example if you consider this histogram used to count the number of times each letter appears in the word. Okay, how many times the each letter will be appearing in the word, for example say Romeo and the Juliet, each letter how it is appearing in that particular word. Okay, so what we do, we have to define histogram, that is user type, and then instance is S, then D is equals to dictionary you are calling, then for C in S. Okay, for characters, for each character or the letter in the S, if C is not in D, what it will do, it will print D is equal, D of C is 1, else what it will do, it will increment the value by 1, and then it will return how many letters are appear in that particular word. Okay, so now that function will work. It also can work for the list, tuples, and even dictionaries, as long as the elements of the S are hashable, so they can be used as the keys, and we know how to write the elements in the dictionaries, or using the dictionaries how we can use the key values. Okay, that is T is equals to spam egg spam, and then spam back on, and then spam histogram of T. What it is going to print? Back on, how many times it is appearing? 1. Egg is appearing 1, spam is appearing 4 times. Okay, so that is how we can write the print the how many times a word is appeared in that particular list or the tuple. Okay, so the functions that work with the several types are called polymorphic functions. We have the different way of working with the several type. That kind of functions are called as polymorphism. So polymorphism, one benefit is it can facilitate the reuse of the code. Okay, for example, we have a built-in function sum. What does the sum do? It will add the elements of the sequence and works as long as the elements of the sequence support the addition. Okay, so since we have a time object which provides an add method, they work with the sum. How it is working? Look here, we have t1 is equals to time t 7 43 7 hours 43 minutes, and seconds will be default 0. In the similar way, t2 we have 7 and 41, t3 we have 7 and 37. Total is equal to sum of t1, t2 and t3, and then it will print the total value. And we have how many hours? This one we have 7 hours 21, and then if you are adding this, how many minutes we have? 40, 80, 80, 90, 100, 110, 121. 121 means we have 62 hours plus 1 minute. So it is going to add 23 hours, then 1 minute, then 0 seconds in default. Okay, so that is how it is working with the sum. Okay, so this is all about the classes and the methods, how it works. Okay, so in general, so what we discussed here is, so we have discussed what exactly, how we can use the classes and methods, how object oriented features are interpreted, what could be the characteristics in Python, and how to print the objects using the time class name. Then we have discussed about a complicated example how we can do it, and the similar way we have also discussed what is the use of init method, how can it be invoked in the Python program. And in the similar way we have discussed about the string method, then operator overloading, and then we also discussed about type based dispatch, how we can implement here. And in the similar way we have discussed about polymorphism and what is the benefit if you are using the polymorphism. So this is all about the classes and the methods how we use in the Python programming language. Thank you.